Welcome back for episode 4 of our Halloween-themed Dark and Ghost-type run. A huge thank you to everybody who's been supporting these videos so far. You're all super appreciated, and we look forward to growing even bigger in the future with you all. This episode sees us finally arrive in Balloonley. I have no idea how to actually pronounce this name, so if you want to butcher me, go right ahead. We make a beeline straight for the gym. Marnie is inside, and after a short conversation, she gives us one of her lead cards. This gym's challenge is a little different from the rest. The current gym leader is auditioning all the trainers to take her place. Slurpuff is covered in Ash's Venoshock and promptly faints. Gaining experience from the battle, Sant evolves into a Dusclops. A few rounds of auditioning later, and all the gym trainers are taken down, leaving Opal open for attack. She opens with her Weezing's Fairy Wind. It does little damage, and Zant goes in right to light him on fire with a Will-O-Wisp. We answer the question correctly as the wizard. Zant's speed rises sharply. Zant hexes Weezing for massive damage, taking him out of the air. Malwale is up next and is on the receiving end of another Will-O-Wisp. Zant takes the crunch very well and sends over another hex. It almost works like last time, but not quite. Opal questions us on our favorite color, which, believe it or not, turns out to be purple. Answering this one correctly gets him a special defense buff. One Shadow Punch is all it takes to knock out Malwale. Togekiss is our second to last Pokemon. Again, we go for the Will-O-Wisp Hex strategy, but Air Slash knocks out Zant before he can get off a Hex. Ash comes out but is hit hard by Air Slash. He uses Venoshock to take out a good chunk of Togekiss's health. Another Air Slash later, and Ziggy joins the battle. This is the only question you ever want to get wrong when dealing with Opal. A sharp raise to Ziggy's attack and special attack, and we soothe that burn with a Surf. Being as it's the last Pokemon, and they always Gigantamax, we decide to bring him out to Dynamax Town. He tries to cut himself a slice of Alcremie. It's an okay slice, but not quite as big as I was hoping. VMAX Finale nearly takes Silver out. Silver has enough HP remaining to get in one final Steel Spike, before falling to another Finale. Ziggy comes out for a bite of the cake. Okay, I wanted to say bite, but it was more like a nibble. Gmax Finale leaves Ziggy with 2 HP remaining. Knowing the recoil damage will be more than enough to knock Ziggy out, I have him use Takedown in hopes that Alcremie will fall with him. Nope! Alcremie is left with the smallest little sliver of HP. Buttons pops out to end it all with a Shadow Ball. With that, we've earned ourselves a Fairy Badge. Yeah, this happens. Bro, this is my favorite cutscene in the whole game. After some unrecorded training, Dwarf evolves into a Morgram. On the bridge east of Hammerlock, Hop, of course, has to go and challenge us to a fight, which, again, he loses. Silver treats Bolton to the cold shoulder, and Hop realizes he kinda needs to get his head in the game. After the fight, he admits he wants to do the impossible and defeat his undefeatable brother. After a bunch of even more unrecorded training, Litwick goes and evolves into a Lampet. Morgram into a Grimmsnarl, and Lampent then into a Chandler. That was kinda out of sequence, but hey, it's done now. In the Sir Chester gym, we found out that Hop went up against Melanie and lost. He's really having trouble deciding just who to keep on his team. Starting to wonder what these people are made of, wearing shorts and short sleeves in a snowstorm. Igneo goes for Inferno, and of course it misses, and hits Igneo with a massive crunch. Inferno again fails to hit its target. Another crunch from Avalugg, it's lights out for Igneo. Dwarf comes to see what all the ruckus is about, and hits Avalugg with a kinda disappointing Spirit Break. Avalugg lunges in for an Ice Fang, but Dwarf bounces out of the way, and then goes in for a crunch of his own. The second attempt of Ice Fang is much more successful and takes around a third of Dwarf's HP. A solid hit from Brick Break, and another little nibble of a crunch. One last Brick Break is enough to crack Avalugg's ice. back out in the storm, I find a massive hole to fall through. And then another one. Eventually, we get through to Melanie. Ziggy goes in for a mega kick hoping to avenge his fallen friends. But he just can't handle the sheer cold of Lapras's icy wind. After a bit of training, we're back at the Sirchester gym. Melanie thinks we're a glutton for punishment and sends out her Frosmoth. But joke's on her because Inferno finally hits and Frosmoth is taken out in one blow. Darmanitan is up next. Inferno misses the target and Darmanitan goes in for Icicle Crash. It's not very effective, but he manages to outspeed Igneo and gets off a second Icicle Crash. Darmanitan avoids the first Inferno, but can't get out of the way of the second. Melanie sends out her Ice Cube. When I first saw this Pokemon, I thought for sure it was a joke. He's kinda oddly cute in a way though. Igneo is up for a round of Shadow Ball, but Ice Cube sneezes out an Icy Wind to lower Igneo's speed. One more round of Shadow Ball does it. And we come down to the ginormous part of this fight. It's Ash versus Melanie's bloodthirsty Lapras. I think it can replace Misty's Starmie at this point. Not quite Miltank level yet though. Max Lightning takes a little under quarter HP. Lapras is much more effective with his G-Max Resonance, and I was afraid we were going to lose Ash there for a second. Ash has enough time to get off one more Max Lightning before being taken out by another Resonance. Ziggy bursts in and immediately goes for a Mega Kick. Lapras answers with another Resonance, but Ziggy fares way better than Ash did. Out of Gigantamax energy, Lapras returns to normal size and avoids Ziggy's second low kick. Lapras belches out an Icy Wind, but is met with Ziggy's foot in his face. An Ice Beam seals the deal for Ziggy, and if I had remembered that fighting type moves were super effective, I would have used Dwarf right from the start. Melanie is shocked and kinda wants to hide away in a hole. The Ice Badge down, we only have 2 left to go. We meet with Sonia and Hop for a very quick supper. And of course, Hop wants a battle for dessert. Somehow we're transported from the middle of town to outside. Igneo singes Double with an Inferno. Double growls out his annoyance. Both Pokemon are buffeted by the hail, and Double takes some damage from his burn. Hop goes and uses a super potion, wanting to keep his fluffy friend on the field just a little longer. And of course I misclicked on Shadow Ball, so this round was pretty much wasted. Not sure what was going on here. Took a little bit of a pause and ended up misclicking on Shadow Ball again, because yeah, I'm not smart sometimes. Double growls out a laugh at the trainer's stupidity. And I finally clicked the right thing. We launch off an Inferno. Double faints, and it's Ash versus Intelion. Intelion opens with a tearful look, but Ash pays him no mind and goes straight for Thunderbolt. The effects of hail takes Intelion a little below half health. Another tearful look later, and it lowers Ash's special attack enough that Intelion can survive the next Thunderbolt. Intelion gets a critical hit with Snipe Shot and takes Ash out of the fight. We almost lose Buttons to another Snipe Shot, but he comes back with a brutal swing and Intelion is down. The next round sees Dwarf versus Snorlax. Dwarf opens up with Brick Break, but is heavy slammed by Snorlax. One more Brick Break will do it, but Hop's Corviknight is still waiting in the wings. It launches a nasty Drill Peck and knocks out Dwarf. Silver joins the fight and tries to get some retaliation for Dwarf. Corviknight is mostly unfazed. It launches another Drill Peck and takes out a good chunk of Silver's health. Silver lowers his opponent's speed with an Icy Wind, and of course the hail takes effect. He then goes in with a Throat Chop to win the round. Hop sends out his Pincurchin next. Silver opens with a strong Throat Chop. Pincurchin raises its stats with a curse, but is then hit by the hail. Metal Claw barely makes a dent, but one spark is all it takes to knock out Silver. Not sure I can really call this a win, seeing as Pincurchin was knocked out by the hail, but I'll take it. Somehow we are warped right back to the hero's bath. We'll end this episode off with a catch. I came across a Cursalot in a raid den and thought its typing would be a good addition to the team. Everybody, I would like to introduce Kraken and welcome him to the team. So that wraps up episode 4 of the Pokemon Duo Type Run. I hope you've enjoyed your time with us here today. If you've yet to see the first 3 episodes, there will be a link in the description below. As always, thanks for watching, stay safe, and game on!